Mosley Jr. Look at a big right hand from Andrade, and Quigley's rattled early.
Big right hook by Andrade. That rock
Coming again, hitting.
With his back on the ropes, and this could be problematic again. Look at this combination.
Oh, and one.
And now David Benavidez comes upstairs.
Andrade.
That's not a killer.
Oh, down.
Jab, knock Romero back, another body shot. Left to the body again. Romero is in big trouble. Two more left hands.
He gets the job. When he's still, there's a nice left down the career. He doesn't want to go down.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode of the Parry. We don't pull or duck no goddamn punches. And the parry is fundamental to boxing. I'm your host, Bomani UFG.
And I am the pragmatic Che Black.
And we are here with another episode of the Parry. Welcome, all our brothers and sisters and supporters and lovers of boxing. What's going on with you, Mr. Che Black? What's up, brother?
Same fight, different round, brother. We here, still swinging, man. You know how that goes.
We here to discuss super middleweight division, and probably the next biggest fight on the calendar.
Absolutely.
Is David Benavidez versus Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade. And Boo Boo. But Canelo reigning supreme at 168 right now with the undisputed champ, who's coming off his victory against the 154-pound undisputed champ and Jamel Iron Man Charlo, which was a complete wash. Probably a waste of my time, but nonetheless, Canelo did what he had to do. But you got people wanting to see him fight David Benavidez, Canelo that is. I want to see him fight David Benavidez, but you got Demetrius Andrade stepping up to fight probably one of the most feared men in the sport, if not definitely in the super middleweight division. And my man David Benavidez, the monster they call him. Mike Tyson gave him that name. Now, the question is Canelo the best super middleweight on the planet, or is the winner of this fight the most dominant super middleweight, or should I say the best super middleweight?
Well, I will absolutely say the winner of the Benavidez Boo Boo match is definitely is absolutely the more established, has made themselves more established at 168. The winner of that fight has definitely put more down at 168. It has more of a claim to saying that I'm the man that actually beat. Canelo brought his superstar power and his pound for pound ranking with him. And so in situations like that, he becomes the draw. But the reality is that until that's settled, Canelo can't officially call himself the king of the hill at 168 pounds until the smoke is settled with these three fighters right here.
But to me, here's the thing about, well, is Canelo the best super middleweight, or is it the winner of this fight? Now, the whole world wants to see him fight David Benavidez. I guess if you took a poll, a lot of people would say that he's probably the person in the division that could give him the toughest challenge. But Boo Boo Andrade, being somebody that has been ducked for so long, if you go look at his resume, man, probably the only recognizable name on there is Sulecki. He's just finished mopping the floor with Jason Quigley. But it's like, who are those guys? Right?
Right.
David Benavidez done beat up on Porky Medina. He done beat Anthony Durrell. Caleb Plant. So, you know, especially at 168, he definitely got the more the better resume in the sense of names in his career. But he has yet to fight anybody on the level of Demetrius Andrade. You probably could say Caleb Plant, but Demetrius Andrade just from the eye test, and the skill set, you know, being an Olympian, and at the same time probably being ducked by Canelo since 154 pounds. Nobody really wanted to jump in the ring with him. Both Charlos, I believe, turned down fights with him. So he's feared for a reason. And the eye test, when you see Andrade in the ring, you see he's highly skilled, southpaw, got some pop. So Benavidez, you know, Andrade could throw a monkey wrench in this fight that everybody want to see between Canelo and David Benavidez, because if Andrade beats him, I think he's probably should be the one that get that fight. No,
Andrade has been the wild card of that division for quite some time now. He's even been somewhat the boogeyman of that division. Like you said, he's been highly avoided, and I believe that if Benavidez gets past Andrade, Benavidez is the absolute man to beat at 160 pounds, 168 pounds, pardon me, at the super middleweight division. If he defeats, or if Andrade defeats Benavidez, then Andrade will be the man to beat. And I think that for complete supremacy, absolutely, it will be between the winner of that match and Canelo Alvarez. Because there would still be that unsettled, like that. Because even between Benavidez and Andrade, the winner of that fight, even between that, there's still Canelo standing there. And even with Canelo standing there, there's still whoever wins this fight. And to claim supremacy, you have to say, I beat who, like one of them has to say, I beat the other.
Right.
It has to be like that in order to claim supremacy.
I think in order to really, I think David Benavidez, considering he's been calling out Canelo for so long, he also beat Caleb Plant, who Canelo knocked out, by the way. He went 12 with Caleb. People want to see that fight.
Well, styles make fights. So, you know, styles make fights between him and Caleb and Canelo.
But considering Boo Andrade is stepping up to fight probably the boogeyman at 168, which is David Benavidez. He's stepping up to a super middleweight to fight David Benavidez. And the fight with David Benavidez and Canelo is already being called for, while Canelo, actually, I wish I would have picked up the clip. I meant to do that, of him calling Andrade he said, "You're a fucking horrible fighter." He said, he says he's a horrible fighter. Who you beat? And when you look at his box rec, the names
who has he been able to fight though? It's not for lack of trying to get the fights. It's the big fights have been eluding him. I mean, it is what it is, and it happens until he gets in a situation where he becomes somebody where he is a draw or he is the bag. He's going to have to chase a big fight. It just is. It just is what it is.
This is his moment right now. He has to be, if he wants that Canelo fight, he absolutely has to beat David Benavidez. He has to take him out the equation by defeating him. Now, based off the eye test, like we're not gonna go deep into a fight preview or anything of the such. You know, not giving picks. I guess we can give preliminary picks right now, just based off what you think how the fight may play out. But just giving it the eye test in regards to who's the most dominant or who's the best fighter in the division. Now, Canelo is a multiple division champion, so is Andrade. Benavidez is a two-time WBC champ. You know, he was stripped of his belt for extracurricular activities. You know, that booger sugar. You know what I mean? But it's neither here nor there. But just giving it the eye test. When you see a fighter like David Benavidez and Boo Boo Andrade, how do they match up against a Canelo? What makes them, or the winner of this fight, the best in the division? Because when you look at like Canelo, in my opinion, don't have many flaws in his game other than, maybe his gas tank late in fights. He is a little bit of slower foot, but however, he definitely has a high ring IQ. Solid jab, power, goes to the body, got good upper body movement. His defense got a lot better over the years. So when you look at a David Benavidez, and if you know what you're looking at, David Benavidez, his footwork is not the best, but he has great hand speed, good power. Maybe not the best defense, but definitely got good hand speed. I'm really not impressed with his footwork though. And when it comes to like a fighter like Boo Boo Andrade, in my opinion, high ring IQ. I think he kind of slaps his punches at times, and he got a tendency to sometimes overreach with his punches, and he kind of rushes to finish sometimes. He gets a fighter hurt, and he gets off balance rather easily, especially when he's trying to finish somebody. So, in my opinion, just looking at the three fighters, what would separate one from the other? What would give the winner of this fight as the best in the division if it's not Canelo?
I think experience. I think experience is going to be a big factor, and I believe age. We have to look at the age of these fighters, and I think that has to be definitely taken into consideration. So I think those two things right there are going to be the two biggest factors in seeing who is the best out of this. Because we have to be honest, like Canelo looked spectacular against a smaller guy coming up to fight him who was scared shitless.
Right. Oh, Shea Black fell out. He'll be back. Well, just to get more. Oh, first of all, let me just remind the people, please jab that like button, uppercut that subscribe button, and go ahead and slap around that share button for your brothers. You can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and now on Threads at the Parry 101. Give us a follow, give us a subscribe, give us a like, and please leave a comment. And leave a comment in the comment section about who you think is the best fighter at 168. Is it Canelo, or is it the winner of Benavidez, Andrade? Right? Leave it in the comment section, and you know what I'm saying? Go ahead and jab that like button. Waiting on my brother Shea Black to come back. Looks like he's back here. Be back in effect.
Yeah,
it's all good. I like your point about the age though. But the funny thing is Canelo, and hold on. You know what? Let me see what are the ages of these guys. Let me try to pull up the box right.
Because Canelo definitely looked great. Like I was saying, fighting against Charlo, who was outmatched, outsized, and just didn't have the heart for that fight. Like he didn't have the stomach to be in that match whatsoever. But up against, like we seen him up against even someone in the 168 division like Caleb Plant. These guys they fight back. It's resistance. And Benavidez and Caleb Plant are on two different levels.
Well,
so
you brought up.
Go ahead.
You also brought up experience. Now Canelo got the clear edge in experience.
Absolutely.
Amount of rounds fought, the resume. Definitely got the better resume. Fought the better fighters. And probably beat better fighters than either one of these guys. So, go ahead.
But here comes the whole thing with experience. Who's more experienced against these bigger guys as well, though? Now you got to look at who's used to handling these bigger guys, Canelo or Benavidez. And Canelo is naturally a bigger guy. Should have been a middleweight, when he was fighting at, what was that? Super welterweight. He should have been a middleweight back then. But with that being said, he's used to fighting the smaller guys. He's used to being able to have his way, whether it was when he was fighting in the smaller divisions or whether it's him fighting smaller guys coming up to fight him. That's been an ongoing MO for him. Now, with Benavidez, he has been at this division. He's been fighting the bigger guys for most of his career, if not all of his career.
So let me ask you, a fight between Canelo and Benavidez, or a fight between Canelo and Andrade. Let's start with Benavidez Canelo. How does that matchup look? Who do you give the edge to, and why?
I have to give the edge to Benavidez. Benavidez, and it goes back to the experience factor, and it goes back to seeing what he could do at a certain level of competition, a different caliber of competition. Andrade has passed the eye test. He seems like he's the good, and he definitely, this is a shot for him to prove whether he belongs or not. See, the difference between Andrade and Benavidez, and this is why I have to give the edge to Benavidez, is because with Benavidez, you know he belongs. He's proven himself. With Andrade, this is his opportunity to prove that he belongs. He appears to belong. He seems like he belongs, but now he has the opportunity to show and prove whether he belongs or not. And this is it right here.
And what about Andrade and Canelo? How that fight look?
That one right there, that's a toss up right there. That is really one of those fights where I can't see either really having the edge. You got Canelo, even though it was a smaller guy, he just came off of beating up on coming up to fight him. He still looks spectacular in it. He's the superstar. He's, now he's the face of boxing after this last fight. Before it was just Tank, and now it's just that quick Hebe. So it's funny like that, but he definitely is one of the faces of boxing, one of the superstars in the sport. So it's a fight on a magnitude that Benavidez has never been in. It's a huge fight. Benavidez has never been in a fight that big, of that magnitude. Canelo's been there before, or Andrade, if it's on Andrade, and Andrade's never been in a fight with the magnitude of even being in there with Benavidez. So that's right. Like you said, that's going both ways being said. But in this fight, though, it's a way bigger. The stakes is a lot higher at the level of celebrity and star power that Canelo brings to the table.
Right.
So I would have to say that it's a toss-up. I can't really see either fighter having the edge, but my gut tells me Benavidez is going to pull it off.
I would probably give the edge in both fights to Canelo. Like now, just based off his last fight, and I know he was fighting a smaller guy. Charlo was moving up.
The edge, you were saying the edge compared to him and Andrade?
To both, to both
Canelo and Andrade.
Benavidez.
Because I didn't. Because Canelo and Andrade, I got to give the edge to Canelo 100% in that one.
I would give the edge to Canelo in the fight against Andrade and David Benavidez. A slight edge. Because I think that both fighters present different problems for Canelo. I'll start with Andrade. Andrade, though. I always don't know how to pronounce Andrade.
Actually, it's just like it's spelled phonetically.
Yeah, Andrade. Yeah, I heard him say it. So yeah, Andrade. Demetrius Andrade. Canelo has a problem with slick boxers throughout his career. He always had problems with slick boxers. Demetrius Andrade is a very slick boxer, southpaw at that, and he's the bigger guy. Like, he's bigger than Canelo. I don't know about stronger, but he's definitely bigger than Canelo. And he presents a lot of problems, like his reach is longer. He got faster feet and faster hands, and he's pretty hard to hit. Like, he's kind of slick, but he will stand in there and exchange with you in spots. So I think he can give Canelo a problem that we've seen him have issues with before and have like controversial decisions, like with the Arislandi Lara type, another southpaw, slick fighter, longer reach, maybe a tad bit bigger, but yet he was able to win that fight slightly, depending on who you ask. Now, here's the interesting thing to me about the Benavidez Canelo possible matchup. We know Canelo got a hell of a chin, like he got some whiskers on him. But when I look at the way David Benavidez punch and that hand speed that he has, and the relentlessness in which he will walk you down, like he only fights moving forward. Him and Canelo both. Canelo's probably a little bit better, fighting off the back foot. No, I'm gonna say he is definitely better fighting off the back foot than David Benavidez. And David Benavidez is coming to bring that pressure. But I think if there's anybody in boxing, if not in the division, who can possibly hurt Canelo, I ain't gonna say finish him, but maybe drop him in the fight, and that's David Benavidez. Because that hand speed, and he'll throw 7 punch, like that combination he threw against Porky Medina, and I know it's Porky Medina. Comparing Porky Medina's chin, all skill set to Canelo in no kind of way. But David Benavidez let off a 7 punch combination that had your boy damn near in the 3rd row. And I'm just saying, if he catch Canelo with something he don't see, because he's nice at he's real ill at throwing in uppercuts at the middle when catching you, and then next thing you know, he's throwing 7, 8 punches. The ref may jump in, stop the fight. Anything can happen. I think he got the power and the hand speed that I think he could possibly daze Canelo and maybe even drop him in the fight. So, and even though we never seen it other than when he fought Miguel Cotto's brother, when he was like 19 and he got rocked, we haven't seen Canelo really hurt in a fight, like almost never. But I think David Benavidez presents that problem for him. So, but I still would give the slight edge to Canelo right now. Right now, I just have to see how either one of these guys look when they match up on November 25th.
I think after November 25th, you may change your mind. I think you may change your mind after November 25th, personally. I think that
it's possible.
I think that at some point, we have to realize, like, Canelo is about 33 years old. Now this isn't ancient, and his shelf life, he hasn't been really beaten up in the ring to really seem like a shot fighter at 33, and he hasn't shown any signs of it. But we still have to remember how he looked against Bivol. Understand what I'm saying? We still have to remember. Now, I truly believe that the thing with Canelo is that Canelo is special. I think that he's one of those fighters that he's actually a special fighter. And one of the things that makes him special is his presence in the ring. He has a way of awing his opponents by his presence. Trinidad had that same type of aura, where he can just stalk you and you feel him stalking you while you're in the ring with him. And it's extremely intimidating. And Charlo found out. Charlo got in the ring and found out what it feels like to have to face that. And I think that, that right there, I don't know if he brings that in the ring with Benavidez. I think that with Andrade, possible, but we have to see. This is, like you said, before they fight each other, because a sensational victory by Andrade really changes how the whole landscape of the 168-pound division actually looks.
First of all, let me shout out my brother Jamal Blood Clot Williams checking us out on Facebook. If you on Facebook, man, be asking y'all to start checking us out on YouTube. You know what I mean? Come on over to this YouTube side of things. You know what I mean? Show your boys some support, man. But once again, just want to remind those, go ahead and jab that like button, man. Uppercut that subscribe button. Toss around that share button. Follow us around on Instagram and Twitter, or X, or whatever they calling it now. At the Parry 101. You know what I'm saying? Show some love for your brothers over here, man. Feel me? But shout out to the to those in our private Facebook group, the Parry. You know what time it is. Shout out to our YouTube family. You know what I'm saying? Those who come through and show us love and support over here on the YouTube side of things, man. Gotta hit that like button. Leave a comment, man. But again, let us know in the chat or in the comment section who you think is the best fighter at 168. Is it Canelo or is it the winner of Benavidez, Andrade? Or do you just want to pick one of them right now? Like if you think Andrade is better than Benavidez, you must be picking him to win, or vice versa. So let us know who you think is the best fighter, man. But yeah, man. Now the Andrade Benavidez fight, November 25th. They're fighting for, I don't know, it was the interim WBC title. I don't want to make picks now, but fuck it, why not? Let's talk about it.
I mean,
How
absolutely.
that fight look to
Absolutely.
you? How that fight look to you, man? What you think? What you thinking about that fight?
I see like I said, I'm really rooting for Andre
Boo boo.
to pull this off. I'm just that's without a question. I'm rooting for Boo Boo. However, I feel like Benavidez, he's ready. Benavidez, as long as Benavidez isn't looking past Andre and just automatically looking at Canelo, as long as he understands that he has a live guy in that ring with gloves who can put him down, as long as he recognizes that, I think he should be able to get by Andrade in the entertaining, exciting, and close matchup. But I do see him prevailing in the fight, though. And it's one of them fights where, to be honest with you, I hate to say it, but Andrade has to really, really put it down.
This is a step up for both fighters. I think Andrade is a better fighter than Caleb Plant, and I like Caleb Plant as a fighter. I think Andrade is a better fighter, presents a different type of danger being a southpaw. He's slick. He got a different combination selection from probably anybody that David Benavidez has fought. And he's gonna give it back to him, pause. Like, but I just feel like David Benavidez, as much as I see some flaws in his game, that kid is just the pressure that he brings into the ring. He eventually, like, he could beat the will out of you, man. The kid, I haven't seen him even look like he's ready to stop fighting, bro. And for such a, he was a fat kid growing up. This kid's gas tank.
I mean, he comes from a fighting family. You got to also look at it like that. He comes from a fighting family, and his brother will be on the undercard.
Right. Well, they both got their fathers in their corner. Andre
Absolutely.
got his father. Benavidez got Jose Benavidez Sr. in his corner. And if you watch the press conference, man, both fighters got a respect. They got a lot of respect for each other. I think they both understand what's at stake in this fight, and that both of them are fighting a caliber of fighter that neither has been in the ring with.
Well, how does this?
Again, I'm not making my official pick. Wait, hold on 1 second. Hold on.
How do they corners match up?
I gotta.
Well, don't tell me you wasn't charged though. Yeah, you on mute now.
Oh, hold on. 1 second. All right, you hear me?
I hear you.
Hold on, let me make sure everything is everything with my sound. All right, we good. Yeah. As far as corners, man, I'm gonna give the edge to Benavidez. I think Jose Benavidez Sr. is a damn good trainer. I think he's man, he probably got the better fight, being honest. Like, I mean, I like Andrade, but when I look at who he's been in the ring with, and he passes the eye test. So I don't want to make light of what I think about Demetrius Andrade. I think he's one of the best fighters in the world. You know what I'm saying? One of the best super middleweights, former middleweight and junior middleweight. Like he was obviously avoided for a reason, but we still haven't seen him in there with the caliber of fighters that we seen David Benavidez in there with. I mean, just Caleb
Exactly.
Plant alone, and Anthony Durrell, um, why is another name that slipped my mind? But he's been in there with better fighters and looks spectacular. And he's finishing dudes in a different type of fashion. The way he's beating guys is different from the way Andrade is doing it. Andrade is going 12 rounds with. I think he went 12 with Jason Quigley. You know what I mean? He fighting guys like Sulecki and guys that they not on nobody's radar.
Well, the
But he's
fact
making
that he's
like
going 12 rounds and not getting the knockouts, that doesn't really take
he's knocking
away
guys
too
out.
much from him.
He's
But
knocking
what
guys
I'm
out.
just
Don't get me
saying is
wrong. But
going
it's the
12
level of
rounds,
guys.
going 12 rounds is okay though. It just shows that you're a skilled technician sometimes. You have fighters like Corey Spinks who rarely got the knockout, and Corey Spinks was one of the best welterweights in the early 2000s. You have
Definitely.
fighters like Winky Wright who wasn't getting the knockouts, and Winky Wright is one of the greatest junior middleweights that ever lived.
Absolutely.
So, getting a knockout, Pernell Whitaker didn't always. I think his knockouts was around under 20 or around 20, you know. So having the knockout isn't everything, or doesn't mean everything. In fact, it doesn't prove how good you are. You got fighters like Deontay Wilder who all they was getting was knockouts. And then, when they had to stand tall on it, it can go left for them. So sometimes being the knockout artist like that, it has its benefits, but then you find that guy who can take your punch, and then you have to find some other way to beat him. Or you find that guy who he might not actually be able to take your punch, but he could elude your punch. Now you got to find another way to get around him. So having that one punch power sometimes can be a curse. Felix Trinidad used to be a double fisted. His right hand, he had a left hook, but he also had a right hand which was devastating. And it never went nowhere. He stopped using it and started relying on the left hook all the time. And when that happened, he became predictable and easy to outbox. He was able to be outboxed. So, sometimes just relying
I'm
on
not
that
taking
power.
away anything. I'm not taking anything away from Andrade and his skill as a fighter, but again, he's about to fight David Benavidez. Before him, he fight Damon Nicholson. Went 12 rounds with him. He did stop Jason Quigley. My mistake. He stopped Jason Quigley. He went 12 rounds with Liam Williams. Luke Keeler knocked him out. Sulecki, he went 12 rounds with, who Sulecki's a good fighter. Arthur Akovov knocked him out.
Styles make
Walter,
fights.
I can't even say this dude's name. Alantez Fox. Alantez Fox knocked Andrade down. I remember that fight. Like, he's going
Styles.
12 with Alantez Fox. Jax Colkay. Split decision. Willie Nelson. Like, these are the only other name I recognize on here is Martirosyan. Split decision with him. Like,
And then he's going to split decisions. You recognize the names of cats, and then he's going to split decisions with these cats. And these cats
but
ain't
when I
beating
look at that
nobody.
resume, it's like, eesh, oof, man.
But like I said,
yo.
but here's the beauty of it. They get skill tests. This is his opportunity to have his skill test. This is his chance to prove where he belongs at. And he may prove he belongs, he may not. You've had a lot of fighters in the past. I remember in the 90s, which is my favorite era of boxing. Not the 90s, I'm sorry. Yeah, the late 90s. The late 90s going into the early 2000s. And I remember the 96 Olympic team. and that was a lot of talent. You had Floyd, you had David Reed, you had Fernando Vargas, and I believe that Floyd was the first one to win gold, and then it was a title. Then it was Fernando, and then it was David Reed. And I remember those fights. But what I was saying about these fighters was that shit. What was I saying about these fighters? That's this damn weed right here.
Yo, but real quick though, just looking at Benavidez's his resume. He went 12 with Caleb Plant. Like there's way more fighters on his resume that are recognizable names. Caleb Plant. He knocked out David Lemieux. Ronald Ellis. Anthony Durrell. J. Leon Love he knocked out. Ronald Gavril. I remember those two fights. Those were damn good fights. Fought him back to back. Won a split decision and then a unanimous decision against him. Porky Medina. Dennis Douglin. Like, these are more recognizable names. It ain't some of the best names, but when you compare resumes, it's like he's finishing better guys. It's hard not to pick Benavidez in this fight, man. It's really hard to. As much as I'm rooting for Boo Boo, you already know his home team over here all day. As much as I'm rooting for Boo Boo, man, it's just hard.
I don't know if I'm frozen. It looks like
you was for a second.
Because you was frozen. You was frozen. That's why I said that. I didn't know who. Yeah, that's why I didn't know who it was.
You was frozen on my side. Pause. You know what I'm saying?
He was.
I don't know why I said pause, but just in case, you know what I'm saying? People be listening thinking it just sound crazy. Anyway.
You was frozen over there. Well, go ahead, continue.
Yeah, man. Just I was just looking at the resumes of David Benavidez and Demetrius Andrade, and again, Andrade passes the eye test, but now he's about to officially step up and get the biggest name on his resume, period. And probably the same for Benavidez, but that's strictly based off what we see from our eyes and how highly we think of a fighter like Demetrius Andrade, who has been ducked. I got to throw that into the equation. He has been ducked. And so shout out to both these guys for stepping up, because David Benavidez also has been ducked. So shout out to both these guys for stepping up and giving us a great fight and putting it all on the line, man, for our entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So hold up, yep. Yeah, my son's saying peace over here. Like he wants his 5 minutes of fame. Yeah. Anyway, you can't cover the camera, son. All right, watch out, man. Yeah. So once again, shout out to those guys for giving us a great fight, and you gotta watch it, Papa. Yeah. Shout out to those guys for giving us a great fight, and both stepping up to fight the other fighter, the other name, which other people are trying to avoid for the most part, man. So definitely looking forward to this fight. Probably the next big fight on the schedule, or the biggest fight on the schedule up until we get December 9th, till we get Devin Haney reaches pro grade. Another fight I'm looking forward to. Heavy.
Yeah, definitely another fight. Definitely another fight I'm looking forward to myself. That's another chance to prove themselves. That's another chance for Haney to prove himself, show that he belongs. Stepping up in the division. I mean, I'm not even gonna say to show that he belongs, but to show that he's that type of special, because special fighters do special things, and winning divisions in multiple weight classes is one of them.
Right. Yo, your camera's frozen again. Is my camera frozen on your side?
Nah.
On YouTube, my camera looks fine. Yeah, you froze up, B.
Yeah,
It's all right, man. We about to wrap this up. Are we doing a post fight on Facebook, or are we gonna keep it pushing?
We do a post fight.
I guess we could jump in there for a second, see what it do. You know what I mean? For a little bit, and see if anybody want to, chop it up with us, chop it up with the brothers. Yeah, once again, man, this has been the Parry. What we got in the news, man? Let's
There's no new boxing news. I was just thinking, I know.
Only boxing news that I probably the biggest boxing news for me, man, is that craziness that Deontay Wilder said on his woman's podcast. But I'm not repeating that. That's crazy.
But what was it was in a roundabout way. So basically, the lady asked him, "Who was this lady to?" Because I seen the
That's his
podcast.
wife.
The lady
That's his wife, man.
that
That's his
was
queen.
his wife. Oh yeah, he needs to get a
Yeah, man.
divorce.
Telly Swift.
He needs
Nah, they not
to get a
divorced.
divorce for that. No, he needs to get a divorce for that. He needs to file. He needs to file for divorce immediately. The fact that
Man,
your wife will bring you on TV and ask you one of the most foolish questions that she could conceive. And I don't even know what type of brain conceives questions like that. That's like when you're a kid and you just saying dumb shit to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, would you do this for that or this or would you rather do this for that? But the stuff that she mentioned, the fact that she mentioned committing a sexual act on his grandfather over
or
eating
eating a
a Twinkie filled with specimen in it, like, yo, her shit. Like, what kind of brain does your wife have, brother?
that question is disrespectful. Just for asking me that question, we're gonna have to take a time out. We may have to go file
He
for
laughed and all
separation.
that, and then, but here's the thing: not only did she ask the question, but the program continued and it got aired. So we ended up getting to see the question. Like, let's just say I'm dealing with a woman and she happens to ask a question as ridiculous or somewhere near ridiculous to the foolery of the question that she asked. That footage probably would never get aired. Even if I decided to keep my cool just for the sake of not wanting to be on camera in a bad viral moment playing myself, that footage would never get aired. I mean, I'm not responding to it. And he was laughing
Look,
all giddy and whatnot.
look, man, dumb questions, you know what I'm saying, get dumb answers. And I probably would have dumbed out on her. Like, you know what I mean? I'm keeping it being like, who you asking that craziness to, man? But that's neither here nor there. I'm gonna go ahead and just jump off the Bomb Squad bandwagon. Was a
Oh,
huge fan. Huh?
you officially left the crew.
Yeah. Yo, look, man, it's been too much, man. It's been too much,
Well,
man.
what
Dude,
else?
look,
What else? What else though? Because to me, I don't know what else. I mean, I can tell you
look,
my own
man.
personal, but really,
Look, man.
and I
No,
don't
no
dislike the guy.
disrespect.
I don't
No,
dislike the guy.
I didn't either, man. When I met him, he was
I
one of the
dislike what he
nicest.
just did though. I don't like what he just
He
did.
he was the nicest dude in the world when I met him, man. Like, I before I even tell you what else he did that had me looking at him crazy. I met him at, I forgot which fight it was. I think it was a Keith Thurman fight. So I see
Shout out
I
to the
see him.
Barclays.
Yeah, shout out to Barclays. We need more boxing at the Barclays, man. Stop with the you know
That
what I mean?
shit
Fuck
over
shit.
with, man. Them boys the one that they pulled the plug on that. But go ahead.
Yeah, so I see him, and like first I was ringside by the ring, chopping it up, got a flick with Ellie Seckbeck. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Uh then I met Fred Hawthorne of Barbershop Conversations. So now we about to dip out, and I see the champ walking through, about to walk to the back, about to walk in the back. And mind you, he's stopping, and there's people, wanting autographs and whatever. And he got a whole like squad with him. So he's like way in the distance from me, man. And I was just like, yo, champ, yo, can I get a pic? And he was like looking for me, man. He saw me,
He
he was
came
like,
and said, "I got
absolutely.
it." Hell
He
yeah, he
walked all the
came.
way through, cut through the crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, you see the fan. Yeah, the boxers are some of the most approachable people, though. I must admit that. I must
nah,
admit
good
that.
dude, man.
Yeah,
Good dude,
man.
man.
For
But
the
he was,
most part,
but to answer your question, what did I see him do that had me looking at him crazy? Your man was twerking, man.
he was twerking. That wasn't enough right there. Him twerk. He had to go further than twerking. Because you realize that's why you ended up having to deal with this. Because you allowed that to slide. And then now, because that's what that leads to. Twerking leads to him saying comments about, debating whether he's going to commit a sexual act on his grandfather or eat a Twinkie filled with specimen. You understand what I'm saying?
Your camera is froze.
I mean, it's not frozen on my side.
Nah, it's definitely frozen. I'm looking at the YouTube and you froze, my guy. But let's go ahead and raise up. But yeah, the twerking should have been enough. I probably gave him a pass that I shouldn't have. But shout out to the champ, man. I don't want him punching me in the head, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Deontay Wilder, man. But that's crazy, bro. Let's get your life together, man. When it comes to that, man. You know what I'm saying? You supposed to be representing, you know what I'm saying, black masculinity and manhood out here. You out here talking about, you know what I'm saying? I can't even repeat it, man. I can't do it. But yeah, just want to thank everybody, remind everybody to please, you know what I'm saying, show us some love, jab that like button, uppercut the subscribe button, you know what I mean? Toss around that share button a little bit for your brothers, man. And follow us on Twitter and Instagram and now on Threads at the Parry 101. You know what I'm saying? This is your brother Bomani UFG.
I am the pragmatic Shay Black.
And this is the Parry where we don't pull or duck no punches. And the Parry, you already know, it's fundamental to boxing. Meet us on Facebook in the private Facebook group. And with that,
Oh shit.
We are gone. Peace.
Actually, now we're going to show you how to catch the jab. Actually, in boxing, it's called parrying.